What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the J-Rod Pod. Today, we actually do have a very special guest. We have a first caller. That's right, guys. We're getting callers now. He will be calling in soon. I don't know him, never met him, never talked to him, but I got an email and he said he wants to call in. So, we're going to have him on in. But before he calls in, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the current events that have been happening. Sorry, there we go. Some of the current events that have been happening. Now, I know they had Juice WRLD's 26th birthday, tribute. And then there's that guy, Dave Blunt's. I've never heard of Dave Blunt's, but now I know who he is. And you will too if you've never heard of him or seen him. So let's just watch a quick little video of our good friend Dave Blunt's. All right. So this is him. He's the one that is taking up half of the picture here. Like literally taking up half of the photo frame. But let's see what he has to say. So, no jumper. There you go. Dave Blunt performs while sitting on a couch with an oxygen tank on stage at Juice WRLD Day and calls out Snoop Dogg. Okay, so let's watch this.
And Chicago, do you have a problem with me sitting down on the stage? Exactly. Get the fuck off my dick, Snoop Dogg. I bought her a chain, I bought her a made her everything. He only need that I didn't buy her is a new wedding ring. All these other rappers always stay true, he never the fuck does he? She Molly, Zika's on the he said, him on his ass, he's cause they have me to relax.
Now this woman sitting next to him is actually his aide. She's coming over to check, make sure there's enough oxygen in that tank. Now I think we can all agree that that is very disturbing. It's a very disturbing video. He's talking about dying, seeing in the sky, and I'm not trying to be morbid, not trying to be a dick. I'm just being a realist. He probably will die pretty soon. I don't know how God calculates how he gets people up into heaven, but damn, he's gonna need a crane to bring David Blunt to heaven if he deserves it. And I wish the best for David Blunt, but it is concerning seeing him on a couch. Because I believe Snoop Dogg said something about him, like, worry more about, like, just, like, not eating Tostitos and getting up off that couch. And I agree with Snoop Dogg. Like, dude, you're over 500 pounds sitting on a couch in front of a bunch of people with an oxygen tank. That is worrisome, right? I mean, if you see anyone with an oxygen tank, that's worrisome. If they're over 500 pounds and they need a couch on stage to perform, you're gonna die real soon. But this is another example of some candlelight concerts, and I'm sure that aside from that, that's kind of depressing. But aside from that, I'm sure it was a great concert. Juice WRLD is, I listen to Juice WRLD. He's sad boy music for sure, and I can be sad. I can get real sad. I can cry. I was crying right before I started this. So what's up? But at least I don't have an oxygen tank. Now, there are these podcasts coming out lately about ADHD. They're known as ADHD Podcasts, right? Now listen, I get it. Everyone wants to have some problem these days. Everyone wants to, oh, I'm bipolar, I have ADD, I have ADHD. I'm a little autistic. I'm a little schizophrenic. You don't want that. It's like, okay, since there's been a few billionaires that came out as autistic, all of a sudden people are claiming to be. I mean, this is a trend that Elon Musk started. But the guy's obviously, he's got some tism in him. But ADHD is not the same thing. I was prescribed Adderall in high school because I had ADD. Listen, you just gotta sit down and do the work. You can get prescribed Adderall, you can get prescribed Ritalin, you can get prescribed Concerta, you can get prescribed whatever amphetamine you want. But in the end, the only reason people are learning so much about ADHD is because they're on a medication that literally makes it fun to learn about ADHD. Like, if they don't take their ADHD medication, I guarantee they're not going to be reading books about ADHD or talking about it on a podcast. It's stupid. It's stupid. That's why you should watch this kind of podcast, an educational podcast, where you learn things. I mean, we just saw a 500-pound man with an oxygen tank performing on stage. I wonder what Juice WRLD would have to say about that. Like, is he looking down like, fuck, God, they brought David Buns, shit. And he's got a couch home. I'd be pissed. You bring him to tribute me, Juice WRLD, one of the greatest artists of all time? You bring a man that needs a couch to sit on? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. Also something that I want to touch on real quick, because I actually used to have a podcast with my friend Roy Spencer. We had a podcast about crypto and stocks and whatnot. And if you go and you type in ROIS space podcast, Roy's podcast, it was our podcast. And we talked about crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, all of that. And we talked about all of that. I was just looking 3 years ago, we were talking about XRP and Solana. And they have literally went up from $36 from like, for Solana, $36 to $200 something dollars. For Ripple XRP, you know, a few cents to almost $2. Now, I know what you're thinking, Johnny, well, if you knew all that, why aren't you rich? And why are you, you know, like sitting in this little studio? Well, I'll tell you what. It's because I am a degenerate, and I have made many mistakes in my life. Sometimes when you lose your mind, I lost my mind. Truly, I actually lost my mind. So that's why it's annoying when people, act like they have so many problems with their mind. No, you don't. Right? You don't know what it's like to think that all the podcasts you're watching are fake, and they're they're fucking with you, and it's AI. You don't know what that's like. You also don't know what it's like to think that everyone on the internet hates you. I mean, maybe you do. But just know that's because you're about to have a psychosis and lose your mind. And I'll tell you, there's 3 stages to a psychosis. The first stage, everyone hates you. They're all talking shit about you. The second stage is they're trying to harm you. The third stage is the worst stage, and that is, I would be standing at work, right? And I would have my back up against the wall, and I'd be having a casual conversation with someone. But in the back of my mind, all I'd be thinking was, is this guy trying to fuck me right now? Is he trying to fuck me? No, but he wasn't. He wasn't trying to fuck me. Thank God, right? But that's what happens when you lose your mind. And I would be willing to say that getting prescribed something like Adderall will, if you're on the brink of a psychosis, will just make it worse, because then you're going to be your mind's really going to be firing, and you're going to be like, is he trying to fuck me? Why are all these guys trying to fuck me? What the hell is going on? I'm not even fucking gay, And so you just stay away from that. Adderall. Stay away from the Adderall-driven podcasts, all right? Stick to JRod Pod, trust me. Just trust me. There's a lot of celebrities moving back. You know what? I'm going to actually have our caller right now. So let me just, they've been in this waiting room. All right, now let's see. Shoot, keep pressing the wrong one. All right, now I do not know who this is, but we are about to find out. I'm hoping that they respect the podcast and are cool. If they don't answer, okay, here we go. Hello, I can't, sir, I can't hear you. You're gonna have to do the FaceTime audio, sir. This man is a fool. All right, hello, sir, and welcome on to the JRod Pod. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well myself, sir. Now may I ask, what's your name? Hail Strike, you said? Okay, and Hail Strike, how did you find out about the J-Rod Pod?
I was scrolling through YouTube, and then I finally found what I've been looking for my whole life.
Oh yeah, right. Definitely. So how are you feeling? How are you doing?
You know, it really doesn't matter how I feel. It only matters about what I do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I that is true. That is true. Um, well, we were talking about some topics. So what do you think about the celebrities that are moving, like Ellen DeGeneres? Like moving all of a sudden out of nowhere, and they're leaving America. What's your take on that, sir?
I think we need more of the filth out of here, and that they should run and be scared.
Okay, and so you believe Ellen DeGeneres is filth?
I think calling her filth is actually a compliment to what she actually is.
What do you think that is, sir?
Let the most disgusting, vile serpent of hell reach down upon her and give her what she deserves.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, if she's a pedophile, I definitely agree with that for sure.
Let
100%.
all them burn. Let the British citizens of the United Kingdom set upon them with vengeance and vigor.
Now, sir, I will say this. We have talked about the British on this podcast a few times, and we, as the J-Rod Podians, what we agree is that, the British are pussies.
But they did it. They did try to attack Bill Gates, and for that, I commend them.
But wait, who tried to attack Bill Gates?
A group of British citizens tried to
Have you ever seen
attack Bill Gates.
Have you ever seen the video of Bill Gates getting pied in the face? Oh, how funny. Right, right. I'm sure he'll get his day.
Ass over there.
Yeah. Where are you calling from, sir? Where are you calling from?
Gotham City.
Okay. Um. How old are you?
33.
All right, 33. Do you have a family? Your wife, kids?
No, they're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about it. Do you have a dog or a cat?
No need to be sorry. I did it.
Right. Um. Um. 1 second. Um. How did we? How did we get this guy on here? How'd you find it? Okay, we'll just run it past me next time. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you're an avid listener of the J-Rod Pod. And you did say your name was Hail Strike, correct?
My name is Hailstrike Alpha.
Okay. Now, Hail Strike Alpha. What do you think about people that live? People, like after Thanksgiving. Like, do you think Thanksgiving is a farce? It is not what is presented to be. Families getting together, being all happy. Do you believe that?
I think it's all fake, and if you really want to see a good Thanksgiving, go down onto the Dirty Six and see all the wretchedness and what's truly going on.
And what is truly going on?
A bunch of vile, pedophile having a heyday in their mansion. But the movement is starting and the movement is strong.
Of vile pedophiles?
We will cap them out to the light, one pedophile at a time.
That sounds fantastic. Um, you know, I've heard that pedophiles become pedophiles because they have been pedophiled themselves. So it's a perpetuating cycle. Do you believe that, sir?
Well, to make a psychopath, which I've done, is that when they're younger, they get butt raped.
Oh, jeez.
Like Macron, the French president, he was butt raped as a kid, then he butt kid, then he to a man.
Is this true? Is this true? Macron? Has Macron spoken on this?
No, he's too afraid, but we're gonna tear out his tongue.
Oh, okay. All right, sir. Well, any departing words?
You.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Hellstrike Alpha. Yes. This episode will be coming out on Tuesday, so make sure you tune in. Other than that, thanks for calling in, sir. Okay. I am very sorry about that. However, I will say this shows the fact that we just had a caller. This shows the potential for growth of this podcast. And it really shows, the good people, like the good people of America and what we're really about. I mean, so there was one thing I wanted to talk about with him. However, I just didn't feel it to be appropriate, just given his stance on a lot of things. However, I do agree. Ellen DeGeneres is she's fleeing the country. She's fleeing the country as we speak right now. She's literally running to a plane with her wife in a suitcase and a bunch of little kids, and they're hopping in the plane, and she's like, "Come on, get on," loading them up, and they're about to go, live far away because she was probably implicated with Diddy, maybe Epstein, who knows? I mean, this world is sick. It's a sick, sick world. Remember the Hasidic Jewish people that were crawling out of the tunnels? I mean, what happened? That story ended quickly. I'm not saying it ended quickly because of any reason in particular. What happened? Why did they have tunnels? Why do they dress the way they dress? Why do they have those little pork chop or mutton chops on the side of their face? All right, guys. Well, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I was just checking in on you. Making sure you guys are all okay. Saw your family. Maybe you love them, maybe you don't. You saw your friends. Maybe you love them, maybe you don't. Either way, always tune into JRod Pod because I love you. I love you. And don't you ever forget it. I love you. Have a great rest of your day, people.